Listen, I don't really do cameos for videos, but texting Andy like crazy to hop on a Discord call with me so he can play me some FL Studio beats. Last time I talked to him, he was about 30 feet deep in one of Gaia's foul geological holes, and I don't think he's coming back.
Get it up! Amber alert, Mud's missing. Big whoop.
Have you gotten my messages?
Guys, it's happened. Mud has gone missing.
Mud went missing. We can't find him.
Hey guys, I'm here to let you know that he has unfortunately disappeared.
We need to save Mud.
Where the hell is Mud? Like,
We need to quit spelunking.
Unfortunately disappeared in a tragic spelunking accident.
The cream you gave me didn't work, and now it's getting bigger and it hurts more.
Save Mud, but if he dies, I don't know. All I'm saying is only one person has his TikTok password, and 2 million is a lot of followers.
Hashtag save Mud.
Hashtag save Mud.
Hashtag save Mud.
Hey guys, your nephew's favorite internet STI here. When I grow up, I want to be in the NFL. My dad made me say as he held a barbed wire bat to my grapefruit-sized 6-year-old head. I hate sports. And that's not to say that I have anything against people who enjoy sports. They're just bad and not okay. What's important to realize is that the pleasure that we derive from watching man tackle and chase ball is the same pleasure that people from ancient Greece derived from watching man slit throat and drink blood. In short, let's normalize public execution. Personally, when I think of sports, I tend to land in the mental ballpark of baseball or basketball or tennis. But did you know that there are other sports that are just as trivial and improve your chances of fatality? And I'm not just talking removal of padding and gear. In fact, think more gear and no rules except don't die. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about spelunking. Subscribing to this channel would be in your benefit, otherwise you're gonna wake up in a cave. Now look, right from the jump, I know that people are gonna say, oh, you can't comment on it if you've never done it, and to that I say, I don't need to. I have Minecraft. Two of my biggest fears include being stuck in small spaces and getting buried alive. Already, those go hand in hand, so I just see this as voluntary trauma. And I don't think I need to try cave exploration in order to have a stance on it. People have died from doing it too good. See, if you ask me, that's just about as contradictory as John Wilkes Booth giving Abraham Lincoln passionate top before making a fun little hole in his head. I haven't tried it though, so who am I to judge one's pleasure? After all, I'm sitting here in front of a computer being asked to quiet down by an RA, and these people are getting balls deep in Mother Nature's guts. Speaking of balls deep, I found a video about a hole. And this isn't just any hole though, this is the hellhole. With such a daunting name, it's gotta be somewhere that no one would dare explore. Hellhole is a large and deep pit cave in Germany Valley, West Virginia! Oh dear God, I was right! This video, uploaded by YouTube channel Caveman Hikes, is titled, To Hellhole and Back, but at what cost? And who better to answer the question than an uncle and his fucking niece? Apparently no one, as the description tells us. This is the best video on Hellhole you will ever see. Every squeeze and every tunnel. Cuts, bruises, spiders, no limestone left unturned. Caveman Hikes, you need some help? Maybe just a nice pat on the back and I love you, perhaps? Anyway, I digress. Let's just subject ourselves to some pain.
There we go. And into the hellhole we go. Not a problem. It's slippery, lots of space. I don't know who thought this was going to be a problem.
Okay, so here we are at the entrance to the cave. Right about here is probably where I'd start throwing up all over the rocks, rendering my gloves useless. As I understand it, you go down this initial hole, and then that hole opens up to like a larger room, and to that I ask, why not just call it a day and stop there? Take your pictures, go home. According to psychologists, this is something called novelty seeking. People with this trait are often impulsive and easily bored, but new experiences release a surge of pleasure chemicals in their brains. A rat or a human with preferences for novelty will be more likely to do drugs and binge drink. Okay, maybe I fit this description. However, what would you rather do? Recreate the movie 127 Hours with your niece, or light up a fat blunt and watch the movie 127 Hours with your niece? Actually, both of those sound awful. And since when do rats participate in binge drinking? That must have been the part of Ratatouille where I was clogging my bleeding nostril with Coke. You know, I think I'm just proving my point more and more here.
There's clearly been people throwing stuff down here, but nobody's bothered. And the stone, even though like it's very smooth, which is very helpful for slipping along, it's also helpful for slipping in and getting wedged in a place you don't want to be.
There's definitely something to be said about the sexual pleasure these people derive from this. I mean, you're literally entering the earth head first. You're a penis, essentially. Look at this, he really gives that stone a nice rub and slap. If I were his niece, I'd have been gone 5 minutes ago.
Whereas the smooth limestone rock makes slipping along quite easy. This can be an advantage or disadvantage, depending on what the caver is trying to accomplish.
Underneath this knuckle here, that is pretty tight. You can slide through. going in blind.
Now, here's where natural selection really comes into play. Listen to this grown man wince in pain as he willingly thrusts himself into the mouth of evil. Usually when I find myself in a situation like that, which I never do because I'm not dumb, I tend to immediately consider options that will end my suffering in the quickest manner possible. However, our novelty seeker here seems to invite pain in the same way that a crack addict invites, well, crack. Also, at this point in the video, it is revealed for the first time that our heroes have been navigating an area of the cave called the Birth Canal. Again, with the cave erotica. I know you guys are waiting for me to make some suspect comment about the uncle and his niece here, but I'm no James Charles. There's no need for that. So they continue to navigate this absolutely hellish landscape, which I hesitate to even call landscape considering the lack of land, and it's all super shitty and just a bad time in general. It's that same feeling of having to piss out of your ass when you lean over like a really high ledge. Then they get to this room with like a bunch of weird faces carved into it. Our weird rock uncle even calls one of them the devil, which if I were down there and you told me that, I would immediately start having a panic attack. He also points out this other one that's just taking an absolute slug shot of a cock. Then there's this part.
Oh, we have butts. There's just lots of potty humor in here, but it is interesting. It's not super dangerous, but again, climbing down in here, not great, man. Not great. Don't tell London's mom.
Yeah, no, mom's definitely gonna find out about this one. Also, maybe a better time to mention this would have been when you were subjecting the viewer to the rock peen. Anyway, they proceed to climb back out of the cave, and on the way out, this happens.
So coming up through the squeeze, this is a vertical squeeze. This is the piece de resistance. If you can't get through this, you're not getting in this cave. This is tighter than that entrance.
A noise only reminiscent to me of a Minecraft villager being senselessly beaten. Once again, I can just get all of this in Minecraft, and then it's all over, and they survive. Like I said at the beginning, I will never do this. Yeah, I'm basically just looking for anyone out there. You can play the uncle, I'll play the niece. Now, you may think all is proven, which it is. However, we're just grazing the surface of the monstrosity here. For people like this, the question must be asked, how do you know when you're batshit insane? Oh, I know. How about when you're literally crawling through a cave of batshit? In this Caveman Hikes video, our familiar hero is joined by this fucking kid, and from what I've been able to understand after playing the beginning of the video at least 20 times, he's blind.
And I'm also blind.
Ugh, this kid gives me the creeps, man. He kind of looks like if Mark Zuckerberg was actively suffering from Benjamin Button disease. Also, where is this guy finding all of these death-defying children? As far as I can see, this kid can't. And for all we know, he could be under the impression that he's about to enter the world's craziest McDonald's playground. The giant-sized exclusive Happy Meal Bakugan toy is buried under the remains of that friendly mountain lion. Go get him, champ! The very straightforward title of this video reads, A Cave That We Shouldn't Have Gone In, But We Went Anyway. Too easy. See, now the thing about the rats is starting to make more sense. This dude is like a rat who can very visibly see that the cheese in front of him is on a rat trap, but he goes for it anyway because he's a dumb fucking rat. I want to skip to a couple minutes into this video because he starts to describe one of the dumbest lines of reasoning that I've ever heard called risk optimization.
This is risk optimization. We're using risk to make ourselves much more capable and much tougher in life. We are super tough and super capable of many challenges because we have optimized risk to our own advantage. And now we're very, very good at certain kinds of risk. That doesn't make it safe. It just means everything else we do in life is much more safe.
Okay, sure. So what you're saying is even though I get terminal lung cancer from ripping the shit out of my discontinued mango jewel pods all day, it's gonna be okay because at the end of the day, I already have cancer? I mean, he said it himself that it doesn't make it any more safe, so props to him for being self-aware. But personally, when I recognize that I'm risking my life, I don't immediately think, yeah, this is gonna make me a lot better at cheating death. But yeah, basically all they do in this cave is crawl around for a while and then they just go right back out the top. I'm gonna guess that it has something to do with this kid being blind. Honestly, Caveman Hikes really let me down with this video. For someone who calls themselves a risk optimizer, I didn't see him eat a single piece of bat shit. For all we know, Caveman Hikes started COVID-19. I don't want to judge all of this off of YouTube videos though, so I took it upon myself to reach out to some of my fans to see if any of them have had any experience in spelunking. I had a very brief but interesting and fucking horrifying conversation with one of my fans here. They said, been a few times with my friend, one time there was a collapse and he passed through a gap we couldn't get out and it broke his radio, so we had to search for a different entrance. Big system winding together about 7 miles away. A few times, mind you. A few times. Now, I never asked if this person ever went spelunking again, but I don't think I had to because the answer should be No. I did go on to say, however, that's fucking horrifying. So how long was he trapped under there? They replied, a good 15 minutes. We were kind of lucky. His radio got crushed as it stopped the rock. Probably would have broken a few ribs. We had some spare cables and ties we used to wrap around the rock and lift it enough for him to squeeze through. That's not normal. Looking back on it, it's a funny memory and an adventure, but at the time it was two guys freaking the hell out. It's become a running joke that he would have had to do 127 hours himself if I wasn't there. Sorry to this fan, but it's not funny. If you were to catch me in that situation, that would be the very first time you were to see me pee my pants. Then considering the fact that I would be trapped, well, I would drink it. Guys, what did we learn from this? I'm always right and have good opinions. A lot of people would end off by saying, no, it's never say never. Maybe I would do this at some point in my life. No. I wouldn't. This is something that I will simply never do. We should cancel spelunking. This was an awesome video, and I know it was. I conquered my fears today. You could conquer your fears as well by, subscribing to my YouTube channel. How does that sound? Personally, I think I need to go throw away all of my exfoliating products because anything having to do with rocks makes me want to shit myself. In the meantime, bye, baby.